Hey you guys, happy Saturday. This is how I'm spending my Saturday, just in the bed on my laptop, and I came across a very, very disturbing video. Before I get into the video was an hour long, but I didn't want to record it that long. So if you want to find the video, you can just search it up. But what I want to say is we have to protect our children. We have to protect our children. And these children, they need their fathers. No matter how much that man getting on your nerves, don't keep them kids away from their father. Okay? And we need to know what our kids are doing. It's time for these parents to get nosy. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to make better lighting, but it's time for us as parents to get nosy. I have 6 kids, ranging from the ages of 24, she'll be 25 in September, 24 all the way down to 12 years old. So the kids in this video, I have kids these ages, 12, 16, and 17. And it hurts my heart. I don't want to say that these children are a product of their environment, because sometimes, almost all the time, that is the case. But you also have suburban kids that's crazy and just shooting up the place. So it can be either or. But all I want to say is protect your kids, pray over your kids, plead the blood of Jesus over your kids. Get nosy with your kids. Figure out what they doing. Figure out what they got going on. This world is evil. And sometimes, unfortunately, kids can be evil. And I feel like when your sons and daughters have certain friends that you're not getting a good vibe from them, pound it in your kid's head. I don't want you hanging out with so-and-so. I can see something. Just keep it going, because that child, the way you raise them, they're going to eventually break it off. And then just pray, ask God to intervene. Let's get into the video.
More mysterious.
So, around what time did you hear? You said it sounded like a gun,
Yeah, it wasn't a loud gunshot. I would say about 20, 30 minutes ago. It wasn't a loud gunshot, but I heard about 4 or 5. And I kind of blew it off casually, and then I just looked out of my window because I did think it was strange with it.
Steven, where the hell is my son? If he being questioned, why the fuck I'm not in there? Which stick is on? Where's my son?
He's in the other room right here.
They talking to him?
Not yet. No, they're all getting their stuff together.
It seems she wasn't convinced they weren't already questioning him, because Ashley did her best to hear what was going on in the other room. After almost 2 hours of waiting, she was finally escorted to the next room to join Chris, who was visibly trembling.
Hey, can I put this on him? Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Did you want another jacket?
Okay.
Are you sure? You look like you're cold. Let me get you.
You say you have 4 siblings? Okay. You guys get along okay in the house?
The detectives set about gradually breaking the ice with Chris, all the time appearing hyper-aware that he was only 12 years old. After taking all necessary precautions, like making both Chris and his mother aware of their rights, and establishing on record that Chris knew the difference between right and wrong, they finally got to the issue at hand.
So, Chris, what I'd like to start with talking to you about is, and like I said, I just want you to be honest with us. I'd like you to talk to me about last Thursday night.
First, we made something to eat. Then we watched TV. And I went to sleep for a little bit. And I heard something outside. I opened the door. There was nothing outside now. I think I went to sleep.
So I think what you just told me was what you probably had rehearsed in your mind several times to tell a police officer if you ever had to talk about that Thursday night. Because sitting here and talking to you with your mom here crying and knowing that you have these siblings, you're probably in sort of an embarrassing and shameful position. If you are sorry for what happened, repent for it and start from the very beginning and go to the very end without me having to pull it from you. Because somebody that I have to pull each individual action from, that tells me that they don't really want to say what they did wrong, that they don't feel bad for it.
Reaper down there has been super honest. He, took him a minute to get comfortable with me, and he's told me everything down to details that only he would know, and
That's involved in it.
That nobody else would know.
Some of the details, he points finger at you.
17-year-old Rob, also known by the concerning moniker Reaper, was also being questioned. Just like Chris, Rob and his mom Erica were both advised of their Miranda rights before the interrogation commenced.
I'm trying to bring the best way to say this to you guys. We're investigating several different incidents that occurred over the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
One being a theft of side-by-side. One being the theft of, a burglary. We're investigating a robbery, and we're investigating a murder. Okay?
Murder.
Mm-hmm. So,
The first ones you named is believable. The last one you named.
But I cannot keep missing work. And you sitting here in my face telling me that you don't want to snitch because your life is they gonna kill you. Pops! You don't know.
It wasn't me.
I didn't say
kill nobody. They trying to get me a license.
I didn't say that you killed anyone. Robert, you don't understand that you're just as guilty if you know who did it and you're not saying nothing. That's guilty by association. Like, what part of that is not clicking for you? If you know who killed these kids, then you need to tell him.
Some part of this tirade must have made an impression, because at long last, Rob shared his version of events.
Taj killed all three of them.
So he reloaded it again and shot it.
All contradictions temporarily aside, Chris added another disturbing detail.
did he see it coming?
No, it was like to the back of his head.
Okay. Did he have any time to defend himself?
No, but Taj just upped him and shot him in the head.
At this point, police were still searching Forest Lakes Park for evidence. Now that they knew the shooting had occurred in Layla's car, it was more important than ever to find the vehicle. Most of all, though, they were looking for any sign of Camille. They hoped to find her alive, but the police were likely aware that, like Layla, she could be seriously injured and in need of medical attention. If that was the case, every passing moment decreased her chance of survival. For the time being, though, her family was left in an exhausting state of limbo. The situation was made infinitely worse by rumors that Camille had been caught up in the shooting. Frustratingly, the police still had no concrete answers for her family. They had to hope that Chris, Rob, and Taj would ultimately provide an explanation. They got even closer when Chris continued with more of the story, but once again, the details started to get shaky.
Was the car driving whenever they got shot?
No, it was just like, it stopped and then like it kept going. Like when I hopped out the car, it kept going with it.
Where did the car keep going when it kept going?
Like to a dumpster.
Did you get back in the car?
Yeah, I got back.
I mean, did you want to get back in the car or did you not? No, you didn't want to. Okay, what made you get back in that car? Explain to me that.
Because he had a gun, I thought he was going to get to shoot at me. Because if I was just with him and if I was just with him, he just killed somebody, and he probably wouldn't kill me too because he think I was going to snitch.
On the contrary, Rob said that he was the one who jumped out of the car.
When he shot Layla, I got out the car because the blood started dripping. I ain't wanted to get on me.
Taj claimed the same thing.
I get out of Put these up, make sure your mama don't find me.
Okay. And the gun that you saw X-Man use, was it either one of those two guns?
I think it was the black one.
Meanwhile, Rob
I think got stuck or something.
What thing are you talking about? The car. Okay.
Once again, the detectives already knew of the boys was lying. The search of Forest Lakes Park had finally paid off, leading police to another grisly and tragic discovery. Taj picked up the story again to tell his version of what they did with Layla's car.
We get over here to this lake. It's dark as hell. 3-5 get out of the car. He get out of the car. Rob tells him, hey, start wiping everything down. So he started wiping everything down. He's wiping everything down. The door handles, everything. He's wiping everything down. So after he started wiping everything down, Rob takes Layla phone or Aunt Sosa's phone or whoever phones he found in that bit, throw him in the lake, wash, throw him in the lake.
The lake in question turned out to be 5.5 miles or 8.8 kilometers outside Forest Lakes Park, but police had no question that this was the scene they were looking for. When they dredged the lake, they recovered the 2 phones from the water, which were determined to be Michael and Layla's. But this wasn't the only evidence they found. Taj attempted to explain what was found as he continued his story, starring Rob as the mastermind of the crime.
He tell 3-5, get in the car, drive the car into the lake, for whatever reason.
When the detectives asked Chris, though, he said he was nowhere near the car at that point.
Were you in the car when it was going in the river? Or?
Yeah, I was out. I was trying to run back to my house.
You were out of the car. What was Rob doing?
I don't know. I left. I was running back to my house.
What did he say he did with the car after that then? I didn't ask all of that. I didn't ask nothing. What about the guns that were used? I don't know where those at either.
Oh, it's barely in the lake. Okay. Like when he drive, it might be the 2 front tires in the lake. It might be a little bit more in the hood, but the back of the car, all that is still out of the lake.
That was exactly how the police discovered the car. What they found inside was more gruesome. Back with Chris, he continued his tale.
Describe to me the clothes that you were wearing that night when all these bad things happened. What happened to him?
That she was gone, though, the police hoped he might be more forthcoming.
I honestly don't think you're a cold-blooded killer. I know Taj, I've dealt with him, and I've dealt with you. And there's a reason I wanted to talk to you. Because I don't think you're that dude. I don't think you're a cold-blooded killer. Taj, I don't know anything about 3-5. I've never met him. But I'm telling you that when the evidence says that you were there and that you shot someone, there is no explaining that.
Evidence is going to tell you that I'm there, but all I can tell you is that I didn't shoot nobody.
Did you shoot Layla?
No.
Because I got information that somebody that was in the car had a thing for Layla, and he couldn't do it. So somebody else did it.
No.
Okay?
No, that's not true.
Your brother's talking. Is there any reason why he would be telling people that you shot one of those people if you didn't do it?
Police likely used this as a tactic to get Rob to talk and hopefully reveal the truth. Perhaps this was how Amy knew Camille was deceased before the detectives contacted her. In Chris's interrogation room, his mother struggled to come to terms with what he'd done.
You shot somebody that's dead, boy. What the f? No, this is a homicide. This is 3 people dead. This is some shit that's serious. You gonna kill my family. What am I supposed to do?
That's why.
I understand. That's what we were trying to tell you from the beginning.
Chris, take a deep breath.
Just calm
Take a deep
down.
breath. Now listen to me. When you say that someone threatens your family and threatens you, I need to put it in the report. Take a deep breath.
What am I supposed to do? Please tell me, what am I supposed to do?
Chris's mom didn't have an answer to that. She asked one of the detectives if she could step out for a moment to compose herself.
He know where I live, and he knows my whole family. He was gonna kill my whole family.
Are you talking about Reaper, or are you talking about Stavo?
Reaper. He was gonna kill my.
Let's talk about X-Man real quick. I think you know who X is, and I think you're scared of him. Rightfully so.
They both said it was gonna kill my family.
Okay.
They both said that? Did they ever point a gun at you or anything like that?
Yeah.
Who pointed a gun at you?
The X-Man. He was like, don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. I'm gonna kill you down. Kill your mom.
Rob also told the detectives that he and Chris were in serious danger at the time of the crime.
Let me tell you something about Taj. Taj tell you he finna do something, and you decide not to do it with him, then I probably would have died with them.
So were you afraid of Taj that night? Because
bro, if I did not do what Taj wanted me to do, I would have died that night with them.
Taj is that bad a dude?
Bro,
Taj, on the other hand, claimed Rob always planned to let him take the blame.
If anything, if one of us go down to anything, then Taj, it was you. You did.
But just like a made-up gang name, or?
Thanks for that.
One of Michael's close friends eventually came forward, provided the police would keep his identity anonymous, and confirmed that KTM was indeed a gang. His description of their activities was chilling.
Their mentality is a mentality that they'll do anything to you and not give a fuck. Just to get the money?
Yes, just to get the money, just to get what they want, basically.
With that, the detectives had all the information they needed to move forward with the case. It had taken 8 hours each to get the truth from Rob and Chris. The detectives stepped out, leaving Ashley and Chris alone for a few moments.
Listen, baby, listen. It's not over.
Yes, it is.
It's not over. It's not over. You just better pray and hope that the gun that you shot her with wasn't murder weapon.
Ashley also had some devastating news to deliver that was sure to upset him further.
I'm gonna go to jail. That's when I leave him. Up top. That's I got to warrant. So I'm gonna go. And grandma gonna be trying to figure out something. I'm gonna try to get out of this. When I get out of here, I'm trying to get you home.
Ashley had a warrant out for her arrest, and in order to be with her son while he was interrogated, turned herself in to police. She was charged with possession of cocaine and methamphetamine and taken to county jail. Chris, Rob, and Taj were all taken to juvenile detention, and on May 15, 2023, a grand jury indicted all 3 boys. Preparations began to take the case to trial, where they will be tried as adults. Taj and Rob are both facing 3 counts of murder in the first degree because, tragically, Layla did not survive her injuries. She passed away just days after Camille's body was discovered. Taj also has been charged with robbery with a firearm, tampering with evidence, tampering with an electronic monitoring device, carjacking while armed, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and grand theft auto. Rob had a similarly long list of charges in addition to 3 counts of murder, including armed burglary, grand theft of a firearm, petty theft, robbery with a firearm, and tampering with evidence. Chris, meanwhile, was only charged with 1 count of murder for Camille, whom he admitted to shooting while she was in the trunk. The other charges against him were dropped, including grand theft of a firearm and burglary. However, he's now facing an additional charge of battery after getting into a fight while incarcerated. Currently, all 3 boys have entered pleas of not guilty, but the trial is ongoing. What the court finds and how justice will be served for Layla, Michael, and Camille remains to be seen.